Once there was a boy who set out on a journey with his lightsaber.
That's actually the Valhalla music.
Really?
Yeah.
I hardly recognize David Lee Roth.
Yeah. Not Valhalla, not Van Halen.
Van
For heaven's sake.
Oh, man.
We'll just do this while we're waiting.
We're streaming.
Oh, we're streaming.
Hi,
Oh,
YouTube
turn it
people.
off.
No, you don't have to turn it off. I need to re-update my... There we are. Okay.
Re-update.
I got to get Facebook up and running. That's okay. Nobody's watching at this point anyway.
Nobody's
Facebook.
They might see it on YouTube later.
Live book? The Facebook? Are you on the Twitter too?
No, but I did do an integration with the LinkedIn today from
The
ServiceNow.
LinkedIn? Oh, yay.
Yep. So now when I do a video in the morning at work, I push one button and an announcement goes out on LinkedIn.
Far out.
Makes my process much easier.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of guy who will spend an entire Sunday writing code to save me 30 seconds a day. But you know, after a while, those 30 seconds add up.
They do.
We have several guests. Craig, in case you didn't recognize voices, we obviously have Ben and Keith.
Hello.
I'm sorry, I didn't recognize them.
And
yeah, I'm sure you didn't.
Brian's back from...
Hi.
Welcome back to the podosphere.
Across the sidewalk.
Across the patio.
Boy, it was tough getting here.
Yeah. The commute was crazy.
It was. I didn't find Jack, though. I thought he would be by Palo Verde, but he wasn't. So I waited for a while.
That's a great thread.
Yeah.
You think you can stop by and pick me up? Oh, only if it's on the way. I get this vision of Jack huddled under that Palo Verde.
Yep.
I don't know. It's so far off the path.
Yeah. I don't know, Jack.
I can't find you.
It's a couple steps. Of course, that means I have extra food in case,
Whoa.
we get
Whoa. Back off.
What?
Back off the webcam.
What? I was leaning forward to tweak the knobs on the mixer.
Knobs.
You were talking about this?
Yeah, whoa.
The forehead cam.
Yeah. Too much, man.
Oh, and we have listener feedback from Yorga.
Oh, I got mine downstairs.
We have a
actually.
Yorga card. Does yours look like this? With the
No,
ice
it does not.
skaters and the windmill?
Wait, let me go grab it.
Next
so I
to
can
the
show it.
Old Dutch Potato Chips Factory?
Old Dutch Potato Chips Factory.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
That's the
the
biggest windmill cookie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It could be Dutch Brothers, too, though. Just saying.
It says Holland, but then on the back it says the Netherlands. I'm not sure which to believe.
One ping only.
Vercelli.
That's right.
Well, I thought Vercelli was a kind of pasta. I'll have the Vercelli marinara.
All right. Here we go. You want to see it?
So how's your storm weather holding out, Craig?
First off, there you go. There's a picture from outside.
Oh, you got more Old Dutch potato chips than I do.
No, that's out in the yard. I'm just kidding.
Oh, wait, I have a few in the background. Maybe it was taken at a different time of year at a different angle.
Greetings from Kinderjik.
Is that what it says?
Yeah, Kinderjik.
Well, that's
known for its 19 windmills.
I was going to say that's in Craig speak.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't trust it.
Here. There you go. Shut up.
All I see is Underjik.
I think it's Kinderdijk.
Dyke?
Yeah,
Oh, that would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like J's are yas. See, mine's in
I know,
cursive, so I couldn't read it quite so well.
I feel like I'm talking to some
What did it say?
Kinderjiks.
Kinderdicks.
I resemble that.
For the two
Yeah.
gay geeks.
What are you doing?
This is Sean Connery for the Two Gay Geeks webcast.
Yeah.
Get your geek on.
He's running promos in our show.
Hey, wait.
Yeah, running our promos.
We were doing the Sean Connery thing, so I had to run my Sean Connery.
I think my favorite
Bumper.
fake Sean Connery was in the cartoon Courage the Cowardly Dog. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And there was a Sean Connery snowman.
Oh, dear God.
And he went in this snowman. It was like an evil snowman, and he fell in the lake, and he came out, and he was frozen. And he says, "A frozen snowman, not too shabby."
Funny.
Just one of those obscure cartoon memories.
Well, speaking of the weather, it was in some areas it got pretty bad, but here it's been raining all day.
Yeah,
and
it
I
looks
was
like the storm was sort of looped around and aimed right at your house.
it kind of went right over around it. I saw a little wind this morning, and I was expecting it around noon to about 2 to get kind of really windy and stuff. Never showed up.
We've got a friend who lives in North Carolina, and he said that the storm just went around the area that, the town that he lives in, but the surrounding areas all got flooded.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he never lost power either.
Yeah, well, I lost power at 4:45 this morning, and then I was like, I kept laying there going, okay, I'm going to have to get all the stuff out of the freezer at some point. I kept running through my head, and then power came back on at 7. I was like, well, that solved that problem.
Yeah.
I could have slept.
Oh, well.
All
We're all
right.
good.
Are we
Are
ready
we
to
ready?
roll?
I think we're ready.
Sure. I think we're ready. Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2. Technorama episode 544 for September 19th, 2018.
Good morning, folks. This is your captain speaking.
Technorama.
Remember when?
Technorama.
On this day in tech history.
Tech.
And now, the news.
Tech.
What the chuck?
Technorama.
Welcome to Blockhead Video.
I have a new hobby, and I need a utility belt and an awesome cape.
Over there, in the media corner.
Technorama.
Hold my beer and watch this.
Unfasten your seatbelts and disregard all safety rules. Here are your flight crew, Chuck and Craig.
You know, after Dragon Con, the cosplay sales are great. It's like the after Christmas sales.
Everything's half price. It must go.
You can get some great Stormtrooper boots on sale.
Hey, that's like, I know some people that were spending thousands of dollars on generators this last week, and this week they're half price.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Pick up a used one, hardly used. Hey, welcome to Technorama. This is the show that takes a lighthearted look at tech, science, sci-fi, and all things geek. If this is your first time joining us, thank you and welcome. You have no idea. If you're returning, wow, God bless you. Thanks for coming back.
Warning!
Yeah.
That's putting it mildly. I'm Chuck Tomasi, and with me as always is Craig Stepp. How are you, Craig? Surviving the storm?
I'm grand, actually. I'm good, man. I lived through Florence, and not really
And
much
you got
issue
a
for me.
stupid T-shirt to show for it too.
Florence Henderson?
Yeah. Or
Florence, Italy.
Florence said
No, Flo from
The Progressive commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From Flo from Mel's
From
Diner?
Mel's Diner, yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
what
was thinking Mel's Diner,
Kiss my
actually, but
grits.
yes. Sure.
That's the sound I should have used instead of the boy.
We are all over the place. Also joining us are some familiar voices. Welcome back to Keith Lane.
Hello, how are you?
From TG Geeks and his cohort.
Here we come to save the day.
That's Stimpy.
Yeah.
And there's Andy Kaufman in the
It's Stin and
background.
Rimpy.
Stin and Rimpy, yeah.
And a voice that you have not heard on Technorama and probably in the potosphere for even longer, the one and only Brian Brown.
Hey, and there was much rejoicing.
Hi. My name's
He was there in
Brian.
May. He was there in May.
He's a recovering
And
podcaster.
I'm a podaholic.
I used to podcast years ago.
There's probably a chair over there with your ass groove in
I
it
was going to
somewhere.
say, this all looks so familiar. I don't know why.
Can't
Only
imagine.
a few of the furnishings have changed.
Yeah. Well, glad to be here. Thank you.
You're very welcome. It's good to have you all here. And I think we have one bit of feedback here. Where'd it go?
One piece of feedback.
Wait, you have something right up here. Chuck.
Oh, wow. Yes. We got a postcard from Yorga.
That's not what I was thinking of, but yes, I did too.
Yorga, isn't this like from his backyard? Isn't he from?
Yeah,
not Amsterdam.
that's actually taken from my yard before Florence came through here.
Ah.
The
All
floods.
the windmills are no.
Is that you right
They
there
flew
on the front?
away, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's me with my finger in the dike.
Careful.
Oh,
This is
dear.
Okay. Do we need an explicit tag all of a sudden?
I didn't say anything out of the
that
word.
one for us. Welcome to the Castle Andres.
Yeah, Jorga sent these cards from Holland.
But yet on the back it says Netherlands. I'm so confused.
Oh, does it?
It just doesn't
Mine
say
says-
Netherlands on the back?
Mine says Holland.
Mine has a map. In case you get lost on your way to...
Yeah, where Jorga's at.
Put a star on there. My house is here.
Yeah.
3 rights and a left.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a piece cake.
Piece of cake.
Peace pie.
All right,
There's
and
slice of cake.
I am going to be doing some global traveling next month, so Yorka, there's some postcards from all over the place coming your way. So watch for those. Shall we do the history thing, gentlemen?
The history
Wait,
thing.
wait. If you're going to put something in the show notes.
Wait, hold on.
All right, I'll
If you're
pass
gonna
out the
put something in the
D20s
show
while you
notes-
do your thing. What do you...
No, you put it in there.
What
Just
did
quick Dragon Con recap.
Quick Dragon Con recap.
Is there such a thing?
Golly.
Really?
A
Seriously?
quick recap?
Yeah.
A drag con
Yeah,
recap?
all right.
There was a drag con?
Not a drag con.
Oh, Dragon Con.
Yeah.
So over Labor Day weekend, Craig and I went to Dragon Con. This is our number 10th in a row. And we not only had our Comedy Forecast and Technorama combined show. That was a lot of fun.
It was.
We introduced some new show elements this time.
Ooh.
We had sort of the Technorama version of Match Game. We called it Chuck and Craig Against Humanity.
I see.
Oh.
Yeah, that was like
Well,
Yeah.
well, we
Audience-
figure we've been working together podcast wise for so long.
We wanted to
That,
see how
we
close
wanted to-
these brainwaves really were after all this
Yeah.
time.
And how badly did it fail?
It was scary.
Really?
it was scary.
close.
Huh?
Yeah. We got like 2 out of 3, right?
Oh, cool.
And the third one we matched the audience member too. So it was all 3 of us matched.
Wow.
We also had a Star Trek panel, first year that we've been in the Trek track with
That's
our
right.
new show, The Topic is Trek, which you can find at thetopicistrek.com.
Yes, and all the audio is posted, so you can go to listen to our last show we posted here, or on the Topic is Trek, and you can find all that stuff.
That was a lot of fun too, because we did some sort of a live version of our show, but we tailored it to a live audience,
Oh,
which
cool.
was appropriate.
That's nice.
We had 2 truths and a lie, where we took Star Trek stories that we've done in the past and then added in a false one. So we figured nobody listens to our show; they won't know which one we're adding. And of the 3 stories, I had 2 of the. Actually, I had lied all times, wasn't? No, I had 2 of the lies, and I fooled them both times, just because of the authoritative way in which I read the story.
You have that voice.
Right.
Use the podcast voice.
Hey,
The podcast
favorite-
for geeks.
my favorite of the 3 of the 1 lies that we read was the one I wrote, and it was where they put that statue up of William Shatner, and he said it didn't look like him, and
In
that wasn't
Riverside,
approved and all
Iowa.
that. I said that I wrote a story saying that it was defaced. It was painted blue with yellow on the Delta shield to look like T.J. Hooker.
And Shatner says it still doesn't look like me.
That's right.
Wow.
It was fun.
That was
Good times, man.
We also did the parade.
The parade.
We closed the parade again. I think this is our 5th year as the evil robot Santa in Futurama. Our group is growing. We added with 2 Zoidbergs.
Accidentally, we added. Coincidentally, I should
we
say.
displaced the 501st, the Stormtroopers and the Star Wars characters at the
what
end
a
of the
shame.
parade. So on the way into Atlanta, I was telling everybody, my evil plan is there's only a finite number of parade wristbands that they can pass out. Like 3,800, I think, is the number. So as our group grows, we're taking them from somebody. And I thought, picture ahead maybe 10 years where our group is 500 people and the Star Wars people is down to about 6.
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel bad. Well, my plan worked a little faster than I thought, because as we were staged as the last vehicle, we're out on the street and everybody else is filing out from a parking lot to our left front. And here come the Star Wars people. And halfway through... Whoa, careful, you're going to get us in trouble. Halfway through their group, we see a Darth Bender.
Okay.
Standing next to him is a Layla with purple hair. So Leela.
Wow.
I don't know. Eric Clapton's coming to mind for whatever reason. But and we said, hey, you guys should walk with us. So they held back, and they were the perfect transition from Star Wars to Futurama. And we've added Darth Bender to our Facebook group, which we affectionately call Ass End of the Parade. Both of our Benders, the people inside, their name is Daniel. So this is getting even scarier.
Wow.
Creepy. And I just went, wow, this plan's working faster than I thought. We're
You have an evil plan.
We're stealing them from their group.
Oops.
That's right.
It was just a lot of good memories. We did play an all-day D&D game with Scott Tyler.
Holy moly.
Yeah, it was about
That was fun.
9.5
Literally,
hours.
We played like 9.5 hours or so, and that I got to tell you, it was a nice break from running around and being around all the people,
yeah,
and just spending time with a small group of friends and playing D&D. That was fun.
It was a lot of fun, and at the end of the adventure, Craig's son Harrison played for the first time. Very good at it too. He's a readaholic, and he was trying out every spell he could do as a cleric, and left, right, and center. And I'm trying to keep up with him. And at the end of the adventure, Scott turned him into a monster. So he says, first time I did that, but because Harrison wanted to keep adopting the creatures that we were fighting.
The monsters. He wanted to hug them.
He wanted to take one home and name it George, I guess.
Tame it. He's trying to tame that stupid crab.
It's an evil acid-spitting centipede. I will hug
He's got
it and name it George.
Wrong class. He needs to be a druid, not a cleric.
Yeah, there we go.
And then he can hug all the creatures he wants.
Wasn't Clinton our druid? He should have been doing that.
Was he? I think he was.
It was a lot of fun. A lot of good memories made at DragonCon this year.
Yes.
That it was. Now can we pass out the D20s?
Now can we pass out? Yeah.
Now I get to roll for initiative.
Oh, it's going into the pit. Oh, the pit of doom.
The Sarlacc pit.
The Sarlacc pit.
2 in the pit.
Oh,
Craps.
No more for you, buddy.
Sweet. I got an 18.
You're an 18, huh?
I got a 4.
I got an 8. I got a rock.
A 7.
Okay.
9.
8, 4, 7, 9.
9. I just watched Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark this past weekend. That was fun. Still holds up well.
Oh, yes, it does. So.
Okay, which way are we going?
Well,
I guess
Craig said he got 18.
Craig starts.
Yeah.
And then you.
And then me. And then we'll just go around.
Yeah, we'll just go around.
Yeah.
Go around that way?
Yeah.
Or this way?
We'll go clockwise. Craig the monitor
look at that as
represents
Craig.
That's Craig.
That's Craig.
That's Craig.
The part of Craig will be played by the ViewSonic monitor.
That's Craig.
That's Craig.
That's me.
All right, let's play the music and get this thing started.
Oh, yeah, music.
On this day in history for September 19, 2018, this is the 262nd day of the year in the Gregorian calendar. There are 103 days remaining in 2018.
The 262th?
It was on this date in 1676 that Jamestown is burned to the ground by the forces of Nathaniel Bacon, not related to Kevin Bacon. During Bacon's Rebellion.
Bacon. So many burning down songs come to mind. Burning down the house.
Down the
Disco
town.
Inferno. Okay, that same date in 1778, the Continental Congress passes the first United States federal budget. We can spend $12.
They got a credit card. Don't worry about it. They're fine. It was on this date in 1796 that George Washington's farewell address is printed across America as an open letter to the public.
On September 19th, 1852, Annabelle de Gasperi discovers in Naples the asteroid Massalia from the North Dome of the Astronomical Observatory in, what the hell? Capodimonte.
Close enough. We'll go with that.
September 19th, 1879, the Blackpool illuminations are switched on for the first time.
I wonder where those are. I have no idea what those are, but it sounded cool.
I was going to say, what the heck is that?
66 years ago today, the United States bars Charlie Chaplin from re-entering the country after a trip to England. I can't.
Really?
I just watched Idiocracy, and I can't get that the un-Nazi'd the world thing with him in it.
There's a guy in Afghanistan dressing up like Charlie Chaplin right now, going around and spreading good cheer towards his fellow countrymen. It's
Hey, I bet he can't get back in the country.
He can't get into this country either.
He probably couldn't get into the country before he was Charlie Chaplin.
Also on September 19, 1957, first American underground nuclear bomb test, part of Operation Plum Bob SquarePants.
Also today in 1970, the first Glastonbury Festival is held at a farm belonging to Michael Eavis.
1970? Doesn't seem
Yeah.
like the
1970?
Glastonbury
Yesterday.
Festival is older than that.
Should be, I would think.
It was like just like yesterday.
Yeah. It was 36 years ago today that Scott Fallman posted the first documented emoticons, smiley face and frowny face, on the Carnegie Mellon University bulletin board system.
30s? It doesn't seem like emoticons should be older than that.
Yeah, you would think so.
And he used noses.
Yes.
Yeah. Now we know who to blame for all this.
Yeah. 33 years ago today, Tipper Gore and other political wives form the Parents Music Resource Center as Frank Zappa and other musicians testify at U.S. congressional hearings on obscenity in rock music.
Take that, Metallica.
Really? Obscenity in rock
Yeah.
music.
Oh, yeah. Big
Imagine
thing.
that.
Huge.
And Otzi, the Iceman, discovered in the Alps on the border between Italy and Austria on this date in 1991. That's
Doesn't
not a real
it seem
sentence.
like Otzi is older than that?
Yeah.
He's like 5,000 years old.
Yeah, just a little bit older.
It was 8 years ago today that the leaking oil well in the Deepwater Horizon oil spill is finally sealed.
Wow.
Doesn't it seem like it was a long time ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That should be the tagline on this segment. It seems like it was yesterday.
Who's next?
Oh, wait, is that my turn? No.
No.
Brian gets his.
Happy birthday goes out to, on this date, English naval explorer led the third expedition to circumnavigate the globe, Thomas Cavendish, born on this date in 1560.
Coming in a distant third on his circumnavigation.
Yes, congratulations, bronze medal to you.
Circumnavigation, isn't that a medical?
Careful.
Yeah.
Oh, little boys.
Yes. French mathematician and astronomer Jean-Baptiste Joseph Delambre was born 269 years ago today. Seems like a lot longer ago.
He's a listener.
Yay, there was applause. There was applause back there.
Yes, well done, well done.
Orson Pratt, the American mathematician and religious leader, was born 207 years ago today.
I always
Whoever
wondered
the heck he is.
Yeah.
Who's Orson
Mathematician and religious leader. What do you?
Yeah. Ooh.
Wow.
Wow.
Please turn your hymnals to Formula 44.
Yeah.
To the square root of 12.
Differential equations.
Yeah. All right. American engineer, inventor, and business person William Sellers is born 194 years ago today.
Born September 19th, 1865, American-German photographer Frank Iguini.
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 Cousin to Frank Liguini.
Yes. James Waddell Alexander II, the American mathematician and topologist, was born 130 years ago today.
Doesn't that sound like a pompous name?
Yes, it
Yes,
does.
it does.
Waddell Alexander II.
Ferdinand Porsche, Austrian engineer and businessman, was born on that same date in 1909.
What do you think he invented?
The Ford?
The Ford?
Chevy.
Volkswagen.
Definitely.
The front Porsche on your house. Hey.
Yeah. The front Porsche. Yeah. English engineer Derek Gardner was born 87 years ago today.
And also born on that same date in 1940, American singer-songwriter and actor Paul Williams.
I remember him. Wasn't he on the Love Boat?
Yeah.
He was on
Along
Smokey
with
and the
everybody.
Bandit.
Cass
Smokey and the
Elliot,
Bandit.
made famous from Scooby-Doo cartoons.
What?
Mama Cass.
Explain
Yeah.
that one.
She was on Scooby-Doo.
Was she?
She was.
Yes, she was.
Okay, I'll take
You
your
gotta
word
watch
for
more
it.
Scooby. My supernatural experience going out the window. She was born on this same date in 1941.
Also turning 73 today is American actor Randolph Mantooth.
From
Emergency.
Yes.
Emergency.
Yes. Also turning 73 today is American actor. Oh, that's yours. Sorry.
Oh, thank you.
Also born on the same date in 1949, English model, actress, and singer Twiggy.
Yeah, we were talking about Twiggy earlier, and it's like, what the hell did she ever do?
She was in the
Except
Blues Brothers.
Be there.
She was on Buck Rogers.
It was about Twiggy. It was about like the Kardashians. What'd she ever do?
That's why I said I equated her to Paris Hilton.
Yeah. American guitarist, songwriter, and producer Nile Rodgers, born on this date, 1952.
Must be good.
And also turning 58 today is French aerodynamist and engineer Loic Bigus. Bigoy. Big Wah.
And
Big
what's
Wah?
so funny about biggest?
Craig won the lottery on names today. Good job, Craig. Good job.
Dickus.
As soon as he said it, I couldn't.
Oh, my.
The music has left, but we're going to keep going.
What's
Two
so
more.
funny?
Just two more.
Oy.
Oh my! Wow!
I gotta let my eyes dry out. I can't read the screen. American captain, pilot, and astronaut Sunita Williams was born today in 1965.
Where's the music?
Yeah.
Also turning 44 today is American comedian and talk show host Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon.
Listener birthdays
Wow.
this week include some of last week's because we missed a show.
Joe.
September 14th, Andrew Peters is Pearl Hacker from the UK. Jeff Schultz, a.k.a. Gorbash, on the 18th. The 20th, two birthdays. Joel Harper, a.k.a. Rincewind from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And Joel Rickenbach. Oh, deceased. We have some deceased listeners now. We've been podcasting too long.
Listening from beyond the grave.
Hey, maybe.
Wait a minute. Who updated his birthday?
I don't know. Maybe a friend of his. Maybe he's listening on Angel Radio.
Angel Radio.
Dean Jensen, a.k.a. Beaker 1 on the 21st. The 22nd is Matthew Jarks. I'm glad he spelled it phonetically. Sharknado. And on the 26th, Brett from Wales. Happy birthday to all of you. If you want to get on the birthday calendar, you can do so.
B-R-E-T-T?
Yeah, I would have
Not
thought that Brett was spelled
PQRZ?
With a
PQRZ.
W. Yeah. W, a couple Y's in there, a couple L's.
Brett.
Sorry.
Go over to checkchat.com/wiki. We'll give you a shout out at the appropriate time of year. If it's your birthday and you're not on the calendar, we wish you all the best this week and hope to see you on the calendar same time next year. That's the way it was on this day in history for September 12, 2018. Wow, that was a lot of fun.
That was good.
I always forget the more people you add to the show, the longer it takes.
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah. Always.
Yeah.
That's it. Craig, you rolled the highest, so you get the first story.
I get the first story? Really?
Really?
We're just going to do stories in our rolling order here.
Okay.
And any
So software developers are now more valuable to companies than money.
Gold.
So you can steal all the pens you want.
Wait, how if they're more valuable than money, how do you pay them?
in
Carefully.
pens.
Cheetos, Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew.
Same way
Yeah.
we did last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are we going to have, a new stock market, trading techies back and forth?
Yes.
All right, so as our as our global economy increases, increasingly comes to our I should really focus on the paragraph as I'm trying to read it.
Yeah.
So as our global economy increasingly comes to run on technology-enabled rails, and every company becomes a tech company, demand for high-quality software engineers is at an all-time high. A recent study from the Stripe and Harris poll found that 61% of C-suite executives believe access to developer talent is a threat to the success of their business. Perhaps more surprisingly, as we mark a decade after the financial crisis, this threat was even ranked above capital constraints. And yet, despite being despite being many corporations' most precious resource, the developer talents are too often squandered. Mm-hmm. Collectively, companies today lose up to $300 billion a year because of people stealing all the pens, paying down technical debt as developers pour time and money into legacy systems and dealing with their own ramifications of bad software. I've seen some of Chuck's codes on this is true.
That's right. Someone is supporting my bad software from 30 years ago.
Yeah. This is especially worrisome given the outsized impact developers are having on companies' chances of success. Software developers don't have a monopoly on good ideas, but their skill set makes them uniquely deep source of innovation, productivity, and new economic connections. When deployed correctly, deploying software developers. Okay. Developers can be economic multipliers, coefficients, and that dramatically ratchet up the output of the teams and companies of which they are a part.
So are we looking at like, the NFL of software developers where like, I'll trade you, a couple CAD guys for, somebody who can do JavaScript, for example.
Hey, I'm a free agent.
Yeah, exactly.
If your company comes in last, you get first round
Yeah,
draft
pretty much.
picks.
Yeah, draft picks. Because that's
Isn't that what they call a consultant?
Yeah, exactly. It's like I got 3 consultants, since I came in last year, something like that. But it seems really interesting that hear that these are the most valuable parts of a company now, which makes sense actually in a lot of ways.
Well,
because
a lot of technology companies, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's driving the force behind what makes a company great. Google, for example. Can you imagine Google losing some of their big brain power? It'd be insane. So
And we were teased in high school.
Exactly. Take that, jocks. What are you doing now?
Yeah.
We're
Now
now
I'm more valuable than money.
Exactly.
Yeah. Screw you. I'm more valuable than money.
But that was just an Any Mouse quote from somewhere.
Any mouse. A nanny mouse.
I'm going to
Naughty
take
mouse,
my
yeah.
pocket protector and go someplace else.
I like how you think, Ben. You're the best. That's pretty cool.
Let's go play some RPG. Cast some magic missiles.
Am I getting drunk?
Are there any girls here? All right, we're
Hey.
Where'd we go?
Where's the Mountain
Who
Dew?
interrupted this show? It's those nerds.
Nerds rule. You know that because you're listening or watching this show.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, my turn. NASA is offering $1 million to turn CO2 into sugar. This sounds
Really?
interesting just from the headline. I don't know where we come up with these stories or if we read them ahead of time. NASA
Just sounds cool.
That's right. NASA is challenging people in the United States to come up with an efficient method to convert carbon dioxide into glucose, a simple sugar. The atmosphere of Mars consists predominantly of CO2, about 95%, which is 92% higher than what we've got here. And glucose is a great fuel for microbe milking bioreactors that could manufacture a variety of items for future settlers on the red planet, NASA officials said. Space.com reports the new competition consists of 2 phases. During phase 1, applicants submit detailed description of their CO2 to glucose conversion system. Interested parties must register by January 24, 2019 and submit their proposals by February 28, 2000, same year. In April, NASA will announce the selection of up to 5 finalists for this initial crop, each of whom will receive $50,000. Phase 2 will involve the construction and demonstration of a conversion system. Winning this round is worth $750,000. That's $700,000 more than the initial prize. How about that? Bringing the competition's total purse to $1 million, assuming 5 finalists are indeed
Where's the
selected
pinky?
for phase 1.
Where's the pinky?
Right there.
You don't have to win or even participate in phase 1 to complete in phase 2 or to compete. You don't have to win or even participate in phase 1 to compete in phase 2.
Yeah,
It's that comma.
yeah. Huh?
Gotcha. The challenge is open to citizens and permanent residents of the United States. Foreign nationals can compete if they are part of the U.S.-based team. To register or learn more, go to the CO2 Conversion Challenge website.
Oh my
And
goodness.
What on Earth is
What
on Mars is this supposed to be for?
You harvest podcasters talking because they generate a lot of CO2.
Yeah, there we go.
For sure.
I think it's so they can open up a Starbucks and coffee, sugar in the coffee.
No. You got it backwards. The software developers are turning sugar into CO2.
Is that what it is?
They're doing it wrong.
Oh, am I doing it wrong? Okay.
Now
They
I see.
It all makes sense
I still
now.
don't
They
understand.
take in the Mountain Dew and breathe
out. Oh, that makes perfect sense. I think we're on to a award-winning idea right now, actually.
There you go.
There you go.
We're just headed in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Send all those nerds to Mars.
Yeah. Or maybe politicians. Politicians maybe could be tapped for this.
Yeah, that
For
Hey,
sure.
they talk a lot more than podcasters sometimes.
Oh, yeah. And they definitely generate a lot more methane than other. So there we go. More science.
Yeah.
Science!
Science!
Yeah, science. So the next story is unmasking AI's bias problem. So when Tay made her debut in March of 2016,
You remember Tay?
Oh yeah, I totally remember Tay. I remember the meltdown of Tay.
That
That's
was a
the
lot
biggest
of fun.
thing. Yeah.
How long did she last? About a week?
Not very long. So
A week.
Now, of course, Microsoft had very high hopes for the intelligence-powered social chatbot, like the automated text-based chat programs that we used to have, like Eliza and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Tay could answer written questions. By doing so on Twitter and social media, she could engage with the masses. Rather than just simply doling out facts, Tay was engineered to converse in a more sophisticated way, one that had an emotional dimension. She would be able to show a sense of humor, to banter with people like a friend. Her creators even engineered her to talk like a wisecracking teenage girl. When other Twitter users asked Tay who her parents were, she might respond, "Oh, a team of scientists in a Microsoft lab. They're what you, letter U, would call my parents." If someone asked her how her day had been, she would quip, "Oh my God, totes exhausted." Yeah, exactly. Now, best of all, Tay was supposed to get better at speaking and responding as more people engaged her.
Yeah.
As for her promotional materials said, the more you chat with Tay, the smarter she gets, so the experience can be more personalized for you. In low-stakes form, Tay was supposed to exhibit one or more important features of true AI, the ability to get smarter, more effective, and more helpful over time, and eventually take us over.
But then...
I'm sorry, Dave. I cannot do that.
Yes. But nobody predicted the trolls. Yeah. Realizing that Tay would learn and mimic speech from people she engaged with, malicious pranksters across the web deluged her Twitter feed with racist, homophobic, and otherwise offensive comments.
Of course they did.
And within hours, Chuck, that's how long it takes, Tay began spitting out her own vile lines on Twitter in full public view. Ricky Gervais learned totalitarianism. Yep.
Wow.
From Adolf Hitler.
Can say a word.
Greg said it.
Wow. From Adolf Hitler, the inventor of atheism. Tay said in one tweet, convincingly imitating the deflammatory fake news spirit of Twitter at its worst. Quiz her about the President Obama, and she compared him to a monkey.
Oh, my gosh.
Ask her about the Holocaust, and she denied it occurred. Oh, so less than a day, Chuck, really. I mean, went from family friendly to foul mouthed. Fewer than 24 hours after debut, Microsoft basically boom, cut the line on her.
Hey, weren't you like that when you first got on the internet?
Yeah, less than a day.
Craig, don't you mean
family friendly to foul mouth?
You mean on the BBSs, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, what was striking was when the wrong turn caught Microsoft basically off guard. They're like, "Oh, well, we didn't expect that." It's the internet, really? Come on. When the system went out there, we didn't plan for how it was going to perform in an open world.
It must have been like a college research program or
I was just thinking, we didn't expect that. I'm surprised. The internet is a foul place. Yeah.
A little further down in the article, there's a video that explains that artificial intelligence has this bias problem because if you take machine learning and we're learning from previous experience,
Right.
the previous experience is tainted. We use this at work to determine, hey, if we have 30,000 records and all the ones for printer requests were routed this way and prioritized that way and had these keywords, then we could do some basic triage and take the human element out of it and route it the same way with high confidence and assign it and categorize it and do a lot of that mundane work.
It's the deep learning piece that you're looking at, really, for your stuff.
But if you took, say, internet articles that were biased, they were saying for judges that were reviewing parole records. Okay, if the previous judges were biased, either racially or whatever, then that's a bad data set to learn from,
Right.
and we have to correct that when it comes to AI and machine learning.
Well, and there's so many
forward.
trolls out there doing their thing. Look what they've done in the last couple of months. How many people have they brought down? Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
I learned.
Yeah, basically,
I'm going to bought you a new dictionary.
The good thing about AI is they're good at task-based. I mean, to a degree, as long as there's no bias involved in that task. And so that's kind of where the challenge becomes, is like, okay, well, if there is bias in that task, for example, the judges is a good example, then there's definitely going to be a problem with it. But if you're doing printer problems, they're pretty much black and white. Is it a problem or not? So we've talked about AI before and the good you could do with it and all the bad you could do with it.
Yep.
So, yeah, this is kind of the same thing as like, oops, our bad. We need to fix things that with AI and how it learns and basically the bias that's in everything. How do you make an AI determine that?
Yep.
Well, I mean, even yeah, like you just kind of alluded to, even the people that are building it are biased at some point level. So how can you not be
biased?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, and you also have this very thing that's very innocent, so to speak, in that it doesn't have any built-in bias, and then you're building bias into it, you know, so to speak.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, the bias is really in the data. I'm not sure so much that it's in the algorithm. That
True. It's the data you feed into. You're right. I get it.
Yeah. Actually, I was kind of seeing the mask being Archie Bunker. It was foul-mouthed and denying the Holocaust.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, yeah, meathead.
Stifle it there,
Wow. I think we found a new thing for Craig to do.
Yeah. I'll work on that.
There you go.
A Carol O'Connor cosplay?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what he needs to do.
Just sit in a chair.
Oh, jeez.
I'm going to have to walk around with a fake chair and sit down and...
Yeah, and just insult anybody who comes up. Yeah, pretty much.
Shut up, you meathead.
Yeah.
You stifle it, Edith.
Yeah. I think it'd be a great cosplay. There you go.
Hey,
you can get away
nobody
with a
will get
lot
it
on that cosplay.
Yeah.
That'd be the problem. Only a certain sect would get it.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's
the old people.
Well, that's
The
a lot
old
of
people.
cosplay, though. You know, the right people get it, right?
That's the best part.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
Cosplay bias. That's what we're talking
there
about
we
right now. Way to go, Craig.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez, Craig.
On that note, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with Hacks and Strange Stories and Remember When. And hang on to your seats, kids.
Take a fact-based journey through the cosmos with Astronomy Cast. Join me, Dr. Pamela Gay, and my co-host Fraser King, publisher of Universe Today, as we discuss not just what we know, but how we know it. Topics range from dark matter to why Pluto isn't a planet. Get your episodes today at astronomycast.com or look for us in iTunes.
Battlestar Galactica, Tom Zarek, and the original Captain Apollo. And you're listening to Technorama with Chuck and Craig.
Another faithful listener on Angel Radio.
Yeah, the late Richard Hatch.
Yep.
Wow.
What was I thinking? Oh, Astronomy Cast. They just had their 500th episode gala celebrante in Indiana. I'm trying to remember where Dr. Pamela Gay is from, but they went to
somewhere in the U.S. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a big old celebration. There were pictures on Instagram and Facebook and whatnot.
Cool.
So they had a good old time. So congratulations to them. I encourage you to listen if you are interested in astronomy.
One day they'll catch up to us. Ugh.
By the way, there is some wonderful viewing out in the early evening right after sunset. You can see Venus and Jupiter and the moon and Saturn and Mars all in one swat.
Mm-hmm. The Mars.
I disagree. I cannot.
Well, yeah, get out a hurricane path and you'll be fine.
Clear this path out.
Just stick your head out the window, Craig. You see what plenty of things, I'm sure.
All right.
Look at
hold
cow.
on.
Or you could go
Cow.
to Astronomy Photo of the Day site and perhaps someone will have a panel
Hey,
of that.
By the way, my wife and I were walking the dog before the storm was coming, and
Is that
there
a
was this
metaphor
lady.
for something?
Yeah, there was this lady riding her bike with a little basket in the front, and I was like, dun, 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 dun.
It's right there.
Very nice. Very nice.
I do have some sounds that work.
All right. It's time for the Hacks and Strange Stories.
Hacks and strange stories.
Hacks and Strange Stories.
Hacks and strange stories.
No, stifle it.
Whose turn? I think it's Ben's turn.
It's my turn, but holy crap, that's
I
like
know.
tiny.
moly.
Slash
Wow, I'm not that
big
blind.
now.
Put it in old man
I'm
font
making
for
the-
him.
I'm
Yeah, old man font.
200%
This is a
fine with
Astot
you?
show.
It is a very slash dot day.
Geez, man, you gave me like the article that was like 50 pages long. It real said like,
yeah.
All right, we'll sit back and relax.
We summarize.
Yeah, I know.
So MIT graduate creates robot that swims through pipes to find out if they're leaking.
We need that here.
No kidding. A 28-year-old MIT graduate named Yu Wu spent 6 years developing spent 6 years developing a low-cost robot designed to find leaks in pipes early, both to save water and to avoid bigger damage later from bursting water mains. Called Lighthouse, the robot looks like a bat-midden birdie, reports Fast Company. A soft skirt on the device is covered with sensors as it travels through pipes propelled by the flowing water. Suction tugs at the device when there's a leak, and it records the location, making a map of critical leaks to fix.
Just don't flush the toilet when that thing's down there.
From the report, MIT doctoral student Yu Wu spent 6 years developing the design, building on the research that earlier students began under a project sponsored by a university in Saudi Arabia, where most drinking water comes from expensive desalination plants, and around a third of it is lost to leaks. It took 3 years before he had a working prototype. Then Wu got inspiration from an unexpected source. At a party with his partner, he accidentally stepped on her dress.
Oh, dear God.
Oh,
Dun,
dear.
dun, dun.
And she noticed immediately. Unsurprisingly. And Wu realized that he could use a similar skirt-like design on a robot so that the robot could detect subtle tugs from the suction at each leak. Wu graduated from MIT in June and is now launching the technology through a startup called Watchtower Robotics. The company will soon begin pilots in Australia and in Cambridge, Massachusetts. One challenge now, he says, is creating a guide so water companies can use the device on their own.
Hey, why didn't he just register uwoo.com?
uwoo.com.
Huh. Interesting.
Yahoo just called.
Is that anything like YouTube?
Yeah.
Oops. Don't want to bring that one up.
That's kind of neat. I like how he found his
ignoring
inspiration there.
There is
Find, the one thing that I learned when I was in college, in business class, find a need and fill it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if trying to
Much like a
detect
tub.
water pipe leaks, if that's a problem, and in some places it is, hey,
Find it and fill them.
that's right.
This sounds like, the next step would be to put some sort of epoxy or resin or sealant that this
Yeah.
robot
That's the
can
next
detect
step.
and fix it.
Have another robot.
And it sounds like this thing is for larger scale pipes. They said water mains and whatnot. So I'm envisioning a rather large robot.
Right.
There is a device. I was listening to the IoT podcast, and there's a company that sells a device that kind of clamps onto the water main, and I think it effectively listens. And will it's a smart device, so you get alerts on your phone or the internet or whatever to say, hey, there's water running, even though you may not have flushed a toilet or running laundry or anything. So that's another way to handle it on a smaller scale, because that's
Just use a
cleanses.
water witcher. My grandfather
Yeah.
used one of those.
The
once.
the
It was like,
divining
it's
rod.
amazing how accurate he was, and found the leak in our water pipe in our backyard with a water witcher.
Oh.
Two coat hangers that he put together.
Wow.
Remember when I saw that on TV? I forget where it was at, but the little divining rod, and I thought that was fascinating when I was a kid. I'm gonna try it, and I put a glass of water on the floor, and I was like, "Look, it works!"
Over it.
Yeah.
It pointed at it. I swear it did.
Craig, there have been numerous tests about this. I love listening to Dr. Carl and Triple J out of Australia. It's a podcast, a radio show on Thursdays, and he said, I believe it was the Amazing Randy did this debunking test.
Right.
He's like the world's greatest skeptic, and they had water pipes in this field, but of course nobody knew where they were, and it proved that the divining rods were basically a crapshoot. If you got it,
They
you were
weren't
lucky.
using it right.
More of them missed it than got it.
Wow.
They weren't using it right.
Yeah.
That's it. Yes.
Craig could teach him a thing or two.
Yeah.
I don't
can't.
think the magic is quite so much in the coat hangers as the person hanging on to it.
Yeah.
Well,
my
I took it.
grandfather
Chuck,
was-
I
he
took
was
this
a
in
Rube
school.
Goldberg,
I know what
so-
I'm talking about.
You took divining in school?
Yeah.
Divination?
Yeah, he went to
Hogwarts?
divination school. That's Craig. Father Craig, too. The others.
Divination. That's correct.
Yes.
He went to Hogwarts.
He
got a degree around
divinity degree.
somewhere.
It's a divination degree.
Yes.
I got it around here
His
somewhere.
letters in
I'm not sure
divination.
where.
Yes.
He's the only kid to get kicked out of Slytherin for bad behavior.
Let me use my divining rod to go find my certificate.
Yeah.
All right, we have one more for you, Mr. Keith.
Oh, I get this one? Not the ducks? The robot
Oh,
ducks?
did we skip over the ducks?
You missed the ducks.
Hospital uses okay, yep, okay.
Are you using the same show notes we are?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get through the show fast.
Oh, that's what you were trying to do.
I see.
Robotic therapy ducks have started waddling their way to children's cancer hospitals nationwide after making their debut at CES earlier this year. The company is distributing the robotic waterfowl through a series of events as part of its activities for National Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. It started with the Aflac Cancer and Blood Disorders Center of Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, where kids were sent on a scavenger hunt to find their very own high-tech chubby companion. Later,
they found Honey Boo Boo.
Yeah.
No.
Later this month, Aflac will distribute the second batch of therapy ducks at the Palmetto Health Children's Hospital in Columbia, South Carolina.
If it's still there.
Yeah, if it's still there.
It is still there.
Okay.
I know. Yeah.
My Special Aflac Duck was created to be educational and therapeutic with features especially designed to comfort kids with cancer. It has RFID-enabled emoji cards on its chest that allows patients to choose a feeling that they want the machine to reflect. If they choose the frowny face, for instance, the duck will lower its head, slouch, and let out a sad whimper.
How does a duck sound? As opposed to a happy quack?
Aflac?
Yeah. It also has a port with an RFID chip kids can use to pretend they're giving the duck chemotherapy. Oh, dear Lord.
Oh, God, that's sick.
And parents can download the Feathery Machines accompanying app for iOS and Android, where kids can bathe, feed, and give it medicine.
Huh.
The company says these features give the children, use that rectal thermometer.
I wasn't going to say.
The company says these features give the children a sense of control during their treatment. In addition, the duck has a heartbeat and deep breathing features that can be used to calm the patients. While the current rollout only covers 2 hospitals, Aflac plans to expand its campaign to hospitals across the U.S. later this year, providing newly diagnosed kids ages 3 to 13 years old with a robotic duck free of charge.
Good for them.
That's pretty cool.
I think it's pretty good.
We joke about this, but I think at the heart of it, it is a very nice thing for them to be doing.
It's something. I mean,
you know, what I think about is like, okay, so it's got a port so you can give the duck chemotherapy, kind of like how they're doing it. It kind of allows them to cope with that concept where that they're having to go through chemotherapy. Hey, their duck can go through it with them.
Yeah,
and all that. So
it's a pretty distressing time.
It would totally be.
Chemotherapy is horrible.
Imagine as an adult and think of it as a kid.
As a kid, it's terrible.
Exactly.
Terrible.
I need an alcohol duck, so I don't have to drink alone.
I thought that's what your dog was for, Craig.
Oh, Juno, where's my dog at?
Juno, the therapy drunk dog.
Therapy drunk dog.
I can see Craig carried on the airplane. This is my therapy animal. I gotta take him to Dragon Con with me.
My empathy.
Drag him to
He's got
Con with me.
the bourbon barrel.
Exactly on his neck. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't bring that dog on here. He takes up 4 seats.
Saint Bernard.
Yeah.
My empathy animal.
It's my internet therapy dog.
It's got Wi-Fi. All right, moving right along.
It's Chuck's turn.
Am I the only one left?
Yes.
I think I'm the only one left.
Bootlegging Atari 2600 games.
Yes, circa the 1980s.
Oh, dear.
There is a French ad, which Donna will happily put on the screen here, for a data duplicator, the Unimex SP280. It says amateurisme 7 copies, which means after 7 copies you get your money back.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes, I read further in the article earlier.
Yes.
And according to this, I believe somebody did the conversion of francs to euros to pounds to dollars, whatever it
Holy
was,
moly.
and it was somewhere around $2,000 for this thing.
Ooh,
Wow.
The discussion is largely on Reddit. It is largely around. Oddly enough, it diverted to floppy disk copying back in the 80s, which was rampant.
We just watched War Games.
I've never seen.
I think
I've
10-inch floppy disk.
8-inch.
It's like, or is it 8-inch? It's like
The size of an
Jesus
LP.
Yeah.
criminy, what the heck is that?
Well, I think I've heard of people back in the day copying 2600 cartridges, but I never actually saw anything like this.
And they were 2600 cartridges back in the day were
They
expensive.
were pricey.
Weren't they like $30 or $40? Were they higher than that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, I like the headline. It says bootlegging. It took about 10 minutes to copy a 4K game.
Yeah. Ooh. That was high speed. And this, you got to remember, this was the days before the internet. So, I mean, I will admit that I did some floppy disk piracy back in my college days.
Not Chuck.
See that closet right there?
Tomasi.
I'll show you.
Is it full?
It's got a few remnants. See that?
I'm waiting for the feds to break the door down
attention
any
to
minute.
that parrot
Hey,
on
Chuck.
Chuck's shoulder.
Hey, Chuck, I'm waiting for the door to break open when the feds start pouring in.
I want to know where they got the blank cartridges for. I mean, later they put in some copy protection. There were extra chips in the cartridges, but the use case that I read about this was that you could rent a game, which was obviously cheaper than the expense of. So you rented it for a couple of days or a week or however long you rented it from the local game store, and then you made your own copy so you could hang on to it longer.
Right.
That was. But where do you get these blanks, and how much were they?
Well, they had to have them somewhere. They made cartridges to begin with.
Right. Well, you think about it, how much blank floppy disks cost back in the day, too.
Oh, my.
Man.
$5 a diskette was when I started.
Yeah.
Yeah, early on they were expensive.
Super expensive. And if you got the high quality ones, they're even more expensive.
I would buy like a pack of 6 with 5 or 10 discs in them each, and then I would sell them out to my friends so I could at least recoup some of my cost.
Right.
I wasn't trying to make some profit, but I just didn't want to spend $300 on some
Right.
So I only need 20.
How much software were you pirating there, Chuck?
Well, my copy of Word Perfect was on the 5-inch.
Yeah.
Hey, I remember the price changed dramatically
7
on
discs.
floppy disks when bonus discs came around. Seemed like they're
Bonus discs?
cheaper.
Bonus discs?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've got
bonus
a-
was a type of
bonus
floppy
brand.
disks. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it
like-
like a zip drive?
No, they're just a brand of floppy disks. They were like the cheaper one because, Maxell had one, I think.
Verbatim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Verbatim's
the bonus
yeah.
ones were way more inexpensive. Craig and I kind of ran in the same circles back in the day.
I thought I had some cheap floppy disks in my day, but I never heard of bonus.
Oh, yeah.
And I've also, I actually got not a disc. I got a cover. I'll have to show it to you sometime. But we talked about this on the show before. Trying to maximize, especially on the Commodore 64, since it was single-sided floppies.
Cut
You
the
could
notch,
cut
flip
the
it
notch
over.
and then flip it over.
I actually had one of the notch cutters that you slide in. It was fancy.
I had a friend in high school. He had one of those too.
I just got good with scissors.
I used a hole punch. Just use a hole punch.
Yeah, use a hole punch
The
too.
hole
It's
punch was
straight. Yeah.
questionable if you
It worked.
Yeah, it worked okay, but you just had to be really careful,
be really
otherwise
good where
you
you
clip
did
the
it.
edge of the disc.
Right.
And
I
then
will admit the little cutter where you just slide it on the
Yep.
corner and go tink.
Yep.
It worked.
That's the one I had. It was lovely, and I
the
used
rich
it a lot.
Rich kids.
We had a
I'm
business
putting a
going
floppy
on.
in a 3-hole punch and get it right. That's talent. That's talent, man.
Yeah, it's true.
I had to do it uphill both ways.
Yeah, there you go.
In snow.
In snow.
Yes,
Yeah.
snow.
In South Florida.
Yep. Kids these days.
I don't know how lucky they have it.
So I wonder if you could adapt one of these cartridge copiers into a cartridge reader and save the data off to like your MAME arcade machine thing.
Ooh. I bet you could.
No, I just downloaded off the internet.
Because somebody already did it.
Yeah, exactly.
Been done.
I'm not doing that. It's somewhere
Yeah.
on the internet in one of them Usenet groups.
Yes.
Alt dot binaries.
Oh, no.
That's going back.
That's going
It's
back.
going into the Usenet news groups.
Yep.
Which I think are archived on Google, are they not?
They're actually in the Wayback Machine.
Is that where they are?
Yep.
On archive.org?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. I'm almost
Oh, there's
afraid
so
to
much
look.
stuff on archive.org. It's
Amazing.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
The entire sum of human knowledge.
Yeah, I posted quite a few to the Usenet news groups.
I used to as well.
Yeah, so did I.
Com.hp. something. I was HPUX. I had a lot of questions and whatnot. That was an interesting concept for its time. Because you wouldn't get an instant answer, but you'd get a lot of answers.
Oh, yeah. Not always good answers.
Yeah. Especially
what are you asking that question for?
And we actually had a section of our bulletin board program that piggybacked on that. So we had sort of private hierarchy that we could share between their 3 or 4 nodes.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like having a virtual bulletin board in different geographic regions.
Nice. Yes.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
those were the days.
And
that's a vacation Bible school.
We
Sorry.
used emojicons.
Emojicons.
If you turn your head sideways, they kind of look like their winky face.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Hey, is it scary how easy you got to where you could see those? Like at first, when you first saw a little,
what the heck did they?
I never had
typo?
a problem.
I never had a problem.
Me either.
Well, the first time I was like, what?
The second I saw it, I said, that's pretty creative.
Oh, yeah, are you not going to do a shout out to the...
Then you don't have to turn your head
Chat
sideways
room?
after a while.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll do a shout out to the chat room.
Yeah, you just scrolled past it, so I didn't think you were going to.
I was good. Slow down.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I thought he was trying to get us out the door.
We do this show every Sunday night, 9:30 Eastern Time.
Here's the guy trying to speed us up.
Join us.
The guy trying to speed us up, telling us to slow down.
We have a whole lot of people that have joined us. We got Chris Smith, John Clifford, Tim Elliott, Doug Schultze. We have some coworkers in here. Craig, act proper.
Sit up, Craig.
Professional.
Too late.
Yeah.
Kevin Devon. We haven't seen Kevin in a while. Kevin used to do the In the Trenches podcast. Joel McLaughlin. David Glazewski. Wow, there's a name that I haven't heard in a long time.
I'm not seeing all these names, but that's
Jet
cool.
Tiong. I'm just scrolling through the chat.
Wow.
Jet is another coworker, so act professional.
What is this, like HR is going to come get you?
Probably.
Yeah, tomorrow
Hopefully.
morning.
These are the cool guys. They won't turn us down.
Okay, that's good.
6 a.m. Pacific.
What do these nerds do when they're not working on ServiceNow? We're podcasting about nerdy
Looking
stuff.
at it.
Yeah. Right now, it looks like the crowd is thinned out a little bit, but a lot of people coming through here. We appreciate it. If you want to join us, you can go to Facebook. We also have our Patreons. Where's my Patreon music? There we are. Yes. Now every time I hear this song, I think of the 501st in the parade. Speed it up, you guys. Thank you to our patrons. We have a number of them, and they bring this show to you. No, we bring this show to you from their goodness and kindness, something like that, with as little as $1 a show. They help offset the cost of the show, and they get special content available that we record right after this, but it comes out right before this. So if that's not confusing enough, I don't know what it is.
Whiny.
That's right. We do it just to screw with the internet. Happy birthday. No, this isn't the happy birthday section.
No.
This is
Patreon.
So. This is the Patreon section.
Yes. My brain is going wibbly wobbly on me.
Timey-wimey, definitely.
Thank you to Kyle Nishioka, Avner Braverman, Ben Vaughn, Mike Wills, Megapodtastic, Night Gig Studios, Gary Lindros. I think we saw most of these people at DragonCon, Craig. John Clifford, and yes, we saw Leon.
Yes, we did. He was at the show.
Noble.
John Noble.
He was at DragonCon.
That John Noble.
Wow.
He was at DragonCon, and I really wish I had an opportunity to go up and say, "Can I get a picture? Put it in my studio, so that when you say that John Noble, I can say yes,
right there.
Not that John Noble." Point to it. It had to go. Get him to sign it and say, "To Technorama from that John Noble." That's on my mission list next year. Chris MC, Alexis Duran, Saturday Morning Media, Steve Therian, Jorga Schrauen, John Miller Jr., and our newest...
John Miller Jr.?
That John Miller Jr., our newest Patreon member, Amber Elstead. Thank you all very much. You can go to patreon.com/Technorama Podcast and help support this show. It would mean the world, the universe, everything to us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's take the stormtroopers out back and let them shoot at random things.
More wristbands for
More
you guys.
wristbands for us. Yep. Hey, we have a Remember When in here.
Remember When?
When did you sneak this in, Craig?
It was up. I was trying. You didn't have to call it out. I just moved it down so that we didn't have like nothing at the bottom.
Did you intentionally spell his name that way, or is that the name of the article?
No, I think I got it from the article.
No,
it was Craigism. Don't worry about it.
That's a Craigism.
Yeah.
I did not type that.
It's not how the title is on Geeks Are Sexy.
They've changed it. I swear to God, they changed it because I don't type it.
And that's his story, and he's sticking to it.
I use a Chrome extension to make these links, so that's not what it
Chrome
was.
extension.
That's it. Okay.
Blame it on the Chrome extension.
It's all Google.
No, the hurricane ate my links.
The article is about
That's
how
it.
Stan Lee built a superhero empire. Very interesting video if you want to go through and watch that. It's about, 5 or so minutes, 6, not terribly long. But goes through his early career. What did he start out doing? Delivering packages? It was something really mundane.
Yeah, it was something. Yeah, you're right. It was something mundane.
And he wanted to be a sci-fi writer.
Yep.
But he didn't really get started into the comics until the 60s. And he didn't get the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe really didn't take off until the early
10 years ago.
Yeah, about 10 years ago, the early part of 2000. Even his early attempts, there was a Spider-Man TV show.
Oh, wait, I was going to say there's some Marvel stuff. Some of it
is,
is
but
some better than others.
Empire, but it never really financially took off.
Not
It
the
wasn't
juggernaut that
no,
it is.
it was the first Iron Man that with Robert Downey Jr. that really got it started.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was the Hulk.
Wait a minute.
I thought it was Blade.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the Incredible Hulk, the TV show.
Yeah.
But again, I don't think Marvel had much rights in that because they had sold a lot of their rights off.
Oddly enough,
That's true.
That Hulk theme at the end, when he was always
so
walking
sad.
away in the rain or something. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Ding, ding. That popped into my head for some random reason today. I don't know why. I hadn't even read this article or watched the video yet. I thought that was really obscure and far-fetched, and I hadn't thought about that in probably 40 years. Where did that come from?
It is one of those
Hulk
places.
sad.
The universe is telling me something.
Yeah.
Go eat more gamma radiation.
There you go.
Said no one ever.
Yeah.
Right.
What could possibly go wrong, right?
So go to our show notes, chuckchat.com/Technorama. Look for
gamma ray
episode
radiation?
544, and you will see how Stanley
Stanley.
built a superhero empire. Oh, Craig fixed it. Our
I'm
question
telling
of the
you,
week-
I didn't do that. I didn't type it in. I promise.
biggest dickus.
Continentia buttocks. Yes.
Lord and Lady Sandwich. Sorry, we just skipped genres there. Our question of the week before we go is, if you could change your name to a fictional character's name, what would you choose? And don't say biggest dickus.
There we go.
R2D2.
Zap on Beeble Rocks.
Yeah, good luck spelling that.
Slarty Bartfast.
Slarty Bartfast.
Because that way, if anybody even asks me my name, my response can be, it's not important.
Craig, that's what you have to use as your Starbucks name. You've heard about
Marty
Starbucks
Bartfast?
name. Yeah, because when you go in and they say, what's your name? And you say Craig, they always spell it wrong on the cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people have Starbucks names, so people spell it right. They'll go, my name's Tim.
Right.
You know what? I'm
Go
going
in
to
there
do
and
it.
say, I'm Slarty Bartfast.
They'd hate you. The baristas
do
would
it.
spit in your coffee, probably.
Right, Tim.
Yeah.
I don't go there often,
No,
but
they
next time I
probably
do,
like
that's what I'm going
a-hole.
They probably like Slarty Barfist.
to do.
Sloppy breakfast.
Sloppy breakfast. Oh, my.
Do it just to see what you get. Now I'm curious.
I don't go there often, but I will. I will do it just to
Now
actually do this.
you got to make it your mission.
Yeah.
And report back.
It's a mandate, Craig. A mandate.
I will.
It's a science
A
experiment.
mandate. That's
Okay.
what we go on.
Or a non-mandate.
But
Yeah,
All right, we will post this on Facebook sometime during the week and collect our answers up for the next show. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Our pleasure.
No.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wait, we had
you.
gentlemen there?
And
Ben,
thank you.
Keith, tell them where they can find you on the internet.
At tggeeks.com.
Yeah. There we go. And Brian, do you have any presents?
On the Facebooks or the Twitters.
Technorama podcast.
Put your presents under the tree.
Yeah.
No, I really don't do anything. The only thing I'm really doing right now is
Staying in Chuck's backyard.
pretty much that's it. Kind of in the oleanders.
Hanging out in the oleanders.
Yeah. There's an audio drama that I was part of called Geek by Night. We're on hiatus right now. We're working on the next season, and I'm part of that. So Geek by Night, check it out. It's pretty cool.
Very cool. All right.
And where can we find you? Technorama, the podcast for geeks.
Among other things.
Let's roll the outro and then we'll tell them. You can find us at chuckchat.com/Technorama, along with many other podcasts that we do. Craig and I also do one called The Topic is Trek at thetopicistrek.com. And what else we got to tell them, Craig?
Goodbye.
I'm so impressed.
Thank you for listening. Consider being a patron. There's all the other contact information over at the website. So hope to see you there. Thank you very much for joining us. And until next time, we're not at that part of the song yet.
We just have to wait.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wait for it.
Wait for it. Wait for it. We were a little bit ahead in the talking.
Wait for it. Wait
So
for
we're just
it.
playing.
No,
Okay,
really.
Here it
Craig,
comes. Here it comes.
Craig, give him a binary high five.
Is this my cue?
Yes, go.
All right. 101.
Thank you.
There you go.
Perfect.
I almost ruined it.
010. It's the binary finger.
I think I saw it.
Missed it. Just
Very good.
people on the
I think
video.
I saw it too.
010. People on the stream got it.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for hanging out with us for a while. Thanks for watching on YouTube or Facebook or wherever you get this. And we will see you next time. Golf clap. It's almost like a live audience.
It is.
We need a laugh track.